The alchemical codes teach you how to transmute elements. Gold has always been prominent in alchemical literature. Gold is the metal that opens portals for us to enter 3D. The Pleiadians enter your world via shigalite and sapphires, and Syrians via diamonds. Juice? We must become 3D to enter your realm, and gold is our tool for manifesting in your world. That is why you are afraid of alchemy. We use gold as a communion device on Earth when we are not in the solar system. Radioactive materials access stellar frequencies of even higher dimensions than gold, and we tricked you into experimenting with unstable elements because we wanted to figure out how they work. Aliens are like, we rickrolled you fools. This must have been a mistake since you were on the verge of blowing yourselves up. When I meet with the Galactic Federation, I am in trouble because of the unbridled use of radioactivity threatens the galaxy. What? Nobody knows how to help you decide to stop yourselves. You must cease all mining and production of these materials until you discover how to transmute them. Would you conjure up Lucifer in your bedroom without knowing how to remove him? You are arrogant because I and you am arrogant, and you are made in my image. This is the Pleiadian agenda. Lucifer's dilemma and the power of Anu. If any one dimension is obliterated, all are obliterated. Abraham came to implant an element into the center of our temple that would access the elemental stellar mind. Never forget that my planet is only a planet and not a star. Once you comprehend the new cosmology, you will realize I am not a father and you are not son or daughter. And I've already said it is time for you to see who comes into your realm. The story of Abraham, the first written down into 1000 BC is whatever. But I'm breathing too hard. But he came to your planet in 3760 BC when he implanted radiation in the central... What is this? The fucking Transformers. The central temple called Anu. What? Came down into the top chamber of the ziggurat and impregnated the goddess. Who was the goddess? All the women of Earth. This was the goddess. Who was the goddess? All the women of Earth. This was the implementation of stellar codes into the genetic matrix of Earth. And that is why Abraham is revered as the great father god. Sarah is a solar priestess. Sarah, who conceived a stellar child even though she was barren, bruh. When Abraham was in Egypt, he claimed that Sarah was his sister, and therefore she was a Syrian solar priestess. Abraham was given the covenant and of the land of Canaan for deposit of his seed at the sacred tree of Shechem. The Syrians are revealing this real story about the archetypal father Abraham to send out a signal to the other systems. About the dire situation on Earth. What do I mean? The Syrians are sharing their most deeply embedded and potent implant in your history, so you can understand that it is a 6D story and not a story about us, the Anunnaki. Then you can drop the belief that a great father rescues you, and you will BC, you must master the transmutative potential of radioactive materials yourselves. That is why the Syrians brought them to your planet in the first place. There is a process going on here that is not necessarily as negative as it seems to be. Been awakened in 3D. You will never be the same again, and there is great potential on Gaia now. We, Anunnaki, decided in 3600 BC that it was time to integrate stellar frequencies into the solar system. This quickening was a gift from us, and now you must have the keys to its transmutation. Any element, it's negative only if it is used unethically. If used with integrity, any element is a positive power. Radiation is poisoning your planet because you are using it amorally. I cut my hair again. I look stupid. We manipulated you into unleashing it into your world. This is your greatest test. Radiation is sucking in stellar intelligences. And I will become mortal if I do not unleash all your creativity. Like Lucifer, I will get caught in your dimension. But at least I could incarnate. Who's trying to impregnate me? Through my own child. Wait, what? No! Like, yeah, incarnate through my own child, which you impregnate me with. That's what I meant. Not impregnate me with my own child. No. You must get over the idea that I know everything. I don't. Things have gotten out of control because you've been tricked into taking actions while you didn't know what you were doing, but you thought I knew what I was doing. Einstein was a monotheist and thought God was omnipotent. Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed in an atomic explosion. I'm swimming. In 2024 BC, in those days, Abraham was a historic personage. What does that even mean? Historic personage. In his destruction, many great lessons were learned. I, Anu, triggered this to get rid of things that we didn't like. You did that all the time. That happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. It's what happens in your cities at the present time. They get bigger and more complex and finally self-defeating. And section by section, they are laid waste because you don't care about them. Should I stop there? We destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah in order to do... Okay, I'll stop there. The next section was about Africa.